Hi, Pilgrim. We're back here, and it's time to get into this book again. Earth's Morning, or Thoughts on Genesis, by Horatius Bonar. Verse 5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. God doesn't leave his works nameless. He who made them, knew their properties and uses, gave them their names. For names are the properties or features of a being or a thing expressed to the ear or eye in words, so that he who hears or reads them may at once understand what the thing or being is, and wherein it differs from other things and beings. At the outset, we see how God proclaimed his own name. Now he names all his creatures in succession. Of the stars we read, he calleth them all by names, Psalm 147:4. He tells us how to call his works. Let us not overlook this part of God's proceedings, nor forget him as the namer of his works. When we speak of night or day, let us remember that he called them by these names. God does not count even the naming of his creatures beneath him. He has named the heavens and the earth. He has named the changes of light and darkness. How closely and how lovingly must his eye have rested on our world. Is there anything great or small of which he was or is unmindful? No. More of verse 5. And the evening and the morning were the first day. Thus he sums up these wondrous statements by announcing the completion of a day, of that period which embraces an evening and a morning. He begins how to number them. This is day the first. Thus God dates his operation. He not only says, I did these things, but he adds, I did them then and there, in such a place and at such a time. And throughout Scripture we may notice the same minute accuracy as to dates. In the prophets especially, God sets down the year, the month, the day when he spoke or did such and such things. How wonderful is it to see the Eternal One thus numbering the minutest sections of time. He is truly the God of order and arrangement and method and accuracy in all things, great and small. It is the fool that takes no note of time. God takes note of it, and in so doing teaches us to prize it and to number our days. Though he inhabiteth eternity, Isaiah 57:16, though he calls himself the eternal God, Deuteronomy 33:27, though 1,000 years are in his sight as a yesterday, Psalm 94, yet he reckons up, names the smallest fragments of time. And he who says before the day was, I am he, Isaiah 43:13, is the same who records so carefully the date of his doings as creator. It was evening, and it was morning, day the first. What a marvelous day has this been. Order, light, motion, beauty are all now begun. God has spoken the word. He has set his hand to the mighty work, and he will not rest till he has finished it. For he is the eternal purposer, and all his purposes shall stand. There can be no defeat, no reversal. This earth is to be the sphere of his mightiest work, and in these first days' operations he is gathering together the stones for the foundation of his vastest and fairest temple, which though delayed and obstructed for a season in its erection by Satan's craft and man's sin, shall not on that account suffer loss, but it shall by this temporary frustration have its foundations laid broader and deeper, that its walls may rise the higher and its compass stretch the wider in the day of final restitution still in reserve for it. Scoffers may mock and say, what? All this care for this little fragment of creation, this pebble on the shore of infinite space? Yes, even so. It's God's way. It shall be so to the last, alike in creation and redemption. For the stone which the builders rejected has become the head of the corner. For the stone which the builders rejected has become the head of the corner. Speaking of Jesus. The whole Bible, from beginning to end, from Genesis to Revelation, is speaking of Jesus. Do you hear it? Do you spend time in it? Do you spend enough time? Well, think on these things, Pilgrim. Tomorrow we'll get verses 6 through 8. So God bless. Stay in the Word. Stay close to Jesus. Have a blessed, blessed, blessed day.